S-Chan presents educational video lectures. Difficult concepts made easy. Study anywhere, anytime.
Hello students, as we have done all the data calculation, we have learned in the MS Excel that how the data is generally stored and then we do the calculation.
If you want to study this topic in detail, refer to the book by S-Chan Publishing. Link is provided in the description box.
Welcome to the S-Chan Academy. My name is Kanhaiya Jha and today we will learn about SPSS. SPSS is basically package for the social science. So basically what is SPSS? SPSS is basically the data package that we are using. This data package is used everywhere. Either we are in a hospital or we are in a railway or we are any form, we are using this particular data packages. So first of all, we have to learn the menu toolbars. File is generally used to open, save the particular data. So when we are using the option file, it means we can open a new file, we can save the file, we can open any particular file by putting the name of the file, then we can use it. Edit is an option which allows us for the changes. Suppose that I put 5 names A, B, C, D, and after that what I found is that D is done by mistake. So I can go to the option toolbar, then select D and then make changes in the D. This is the option to do it. Then view, we can view any particular file, we can see the particular any row or particular column or a particular page for that particular information, that a given information is whatever the information that we need, we can use that particular information. Then we have a data as such, there are few things with the data which is very important. First, editing, sorting, adding, then deleting. So these are the particular requirements which has to be there in the particular data, so that when we access the particular data, then we can do this. So we have selecting the data, sorting the data, weight casing the data, merging the files. In the option merging the files, we can merge the multiple files into the one file. We can merge the multiple files into one file. It means that all the information will be given in that particular one file. We can access that particular file to get the information about the things. So yes, so we have seen that how the data, select the data, sort the data or merge the particular data. So merging the data is basically when we combine the different files all together to make a new file, and when the new file has all the particular information. Transforming it, that we are using the new variables, we are recoding the variables and etc. with the particular files. So what we can do with these operations, like we want to select the particular data from the file option, from the edit option, we can select the data and make changes. We can view the particular data, then we can again select the data, transforming the data in the sense that if we are changing the variables of the data, we are changing the variables of the particular data and we are putting it into new variables, or we can recode the particular data. Okay, so we can analyze the particular data, that whatever the operation that we are doing, whatever the start operation that we are doing, that is correct or not. Then we have graph, we can make the graph, we can create a bar graph, pie chart, etc. The purpose of making the bar graph or the pie chart is basically the graphical representation of the particular data. So when we color the different lines, then it will show the variation. Let's take an example here, that we say that there are 4 things A, B, C, D, and suppose we write the values. Suppose the value is 4, 6, 8, 10. So we can see here the value of the D is highest. The value D value is the highest value. So suppose that if I make a graph here, this is A, which is 4, B is 6, D 8, and this is the 10. So this graphical representation allows us to see that this is the biggest value. So we have this particular value, we can use it, that this is so called as a type of bar graph, and the pie chart we color it also. Color it in the sense that if we have this A, B, C, D, so we can make a change here that this is A, which is B, then C is high, and we can see D is the high, and then we can shade it. So here what we can see is that by using a pie chart or by using a particular bar graph, that we can see the particular variation occurring in the particular data very clearly in the graphical form. Everything in the graphical form is clear, and we can see without making the calculation that how the data is generally varying, what is the variation and what is the difference between the two particular elements of the data. This is the analyzation, this is a graph. Graph means that we are creating a bar and the pie chart. Then we have utilities. In the utilities column, we have to add comments. Then to support the particular file. In utility, in the sense that suppose we are saying we are calculating the particular mathematical operation, then we have to specify that the changes, whatever the changes we are doing. Then we have add icons, that the features are not currently installed. This is not available with the SPSS right now. Then definitely we can switch the particular window, that we can go from the one particular window to the another particular window. We can choose the particular window, and then we can make the calculations and all that. So here we learn that what you do in the analyze, that when we have to analyze the mathematical operations, whatever the mathematical operation that we are doing, we can use the analyze. Then we can go for the graph. Either we can use a bar graph or we can use a pie chart. A bar graph can be used so that the variation can be seen in ups and downs, but in the pie chart we can see in colors. Taking a very small example, that if we see the cricket match on the TV, the comparison between the two teams are generally done with the graph with the different colors. So suppose after 10 hours, team A scored this and the team B scored this. So we can easily see that the team that scores less, the graph is down. So the graphical representation of the data is that without calculating, when you see the graph, then without calculating with a numerical value, we do not use the numerical value or we do not calculate the numerical value. So without calculating it from the particular numerical value, we can make the particular calculation that how the data will generally vary. So this was a very important concept where we analyze the data, where we put the data in the graphical form, then we make comments to the particular data, the changes that we do or the changes that we required, and then we have a Windows switch options. Here the explanation was given that if the bar graph is made, then we can easily see that how the changes are generally occurring in this particular bar graph. We can see that the option C, the option D is showing a very till top. It means that the value of D is high. Here we can see in more here that in the pie chart I have shaded it. It means that D has the highest particular value. So we can show it by different colors. We can show it by different colors, and the color which has the highest value we can easily see. The purpose of putting the graphical presentation is that every time we do not have to calculate the numerical value to evaluate the things. We can see and then we can make the judgment. Suppose we see the graph of two particular value. This is the first value and this is the second value. So we don't know what is the value of A and we don't know what is the value of B, but at least we can see that the value of A is more than B. If the variation, whatever the variables that we have selected to calculate this particular variation, so we can easily see that the value of the particular A in terms of this variable is definitely more than the value of the particular B. So here it is clearly seen. So this is why bar graph is generally used, that without knowing the particular numerical value, we can have a relational data that which is greater, which is smaller, or they are equal to each other. Then again the concept of coloring the data. The coloring the data with the different numerical values generally enables us again to make the calculation of the greater than or smaller value. Or very important that if we are using 10 variables and we are using 10 colors, then we can denote the particular variables with a particular color. This is also a very important concept of the data representation that we are doing in the pie chart, that if we are using 10 different data, then 10 different data can be used by the 10 different colors. So when 10 different data can be used with a 10 different color, then we can see that the difference that is occurring in this particular form. So this is also a very important concept. So we have discussed here the particular data and the particular pie chart in this analyze and all the particular variation form. Then we have the toolbar. In the toolbar we have the insert option. We can insert a particular value with a particular title, with a particular the chart values in the sense that whatever the values of the data that we are using. Suppose in the chart there is x, y, z, then x1, y1, j1 and then x dash, y dash, z dash. Suppose let us take that example that we are using x, y, z. It is not compulsory that I should use x1, y1, z1. I can use anything x dash, y dash, z dash. I can use x double dash, y double dash, z double dash. So any of the character value I can use it. Depends upon that how I am using the operator, what kind of operator I am using, and what the value of the variables I am doing. I can write x to x1, I can write x dash to x double dash, y dash to y double dash, z dash to z double dash. So when the data will generally vary, then we can use any particular calculation and then we can do here. Then inserting is that we insert the particular value and then format. Anytime we can change the format. The format that we are using here, it is for changing the alignment of the particular portion of the output. That what kind of output generally need. The format is always connected with the type of the output that we generally need. So if the required output is varying from the particular work to work, then the format can also be changed. Let us take an example of this. Suppose that we have the option x1, x2, x3, x4. Now what we need is the summation of this. So we can calculate the summation, but in the next format what we want is only the middle values x2 and x3. So when we need the particular middle values, in that case also we can use the middle values x2 and x3. Suppose in the third one we are looking for the corner values, then we can use the corner values also. So format always depends upon the output, that what kind of output that we required. So depending upon the nature of the particular output, we can use the particular format. Either it is all the values, middle values, corner values, or we want to change the equation, that initially we are using with a different function, now we are working with a different function. In that case also we can change the particular variables and then we generally calculate it. So depending upon the nature of output that we required, the nature of the format can be designed. And in SPSS we can do the change in the format of the particular data. Then we have here, we can see format, anytime we can change the particular format. Suppose we are working with a different function and we change the function, then the output will be changed. So in that case, we can change the format. Then we have this one, the particular editing of data. We can do the editing of data, we can make the changes, we can sort the particular value, and after sorting the particular value, we can make the changes in the particular data. We can insert the titles, we can insert the footnotes and any particular important things related to the data. Then we can use row and column variables, that we can choose a particular row and all the changes in that particular row that we can do. We can select the particular row and then do it. Again, the format can be modified by us. Here it is, various modification can be done in the cells and the tables. If modification is required, we can do that. If change in the variables are required, any change in the variable is required, that also we can do. So we can make these kind of changes while using the particular SPSS. So what we learn here is that how SPSS is used, how the tabularization is done, how the mathematical operation is done. Now we will take a small break and again we will learn.
Now quality learning is easily available at your doorstep. S. Chand Academy brings detailed lectures based on AICTE curriculum as per the New Education Policy 2020. So do not forget to subscribe to the S. Chand Academy and access the wide world of knowledge conveniently sitting at your home. Stay connected and keep watching S. Chand Academy. Happy learning!
Welcome back, students. So we have learned about the SPSS, that how it is used and how the different values can be edited, sorted, deleted and inserted. Now we learn further. We can see here that we have an additional menu, which first is we can edit the particular chart. So either we can edit it with a numerical value, the numerical value that we are using, we can add it with that particular value, or we can edit it with a particular graph. So particular edit can be done at both the particular part. Either the edit can be done with a particular menu or it can be done with a particular graph. Then we have a syntax editor, which is usually used to edit the text in the syntax window, that if you want to edit a particular text, then we can also do it. So in total, what we can do is we can edit the numerical value also, and we can edit the particular character value also, the text menu also. Then we can go to the click view toolbar, and then we can see the particular data and we can hide it and we can show it. So we can go to the any new tool, particular new toolbar also. So we can import the particular file. We can see that we can go to the file option, then open the data, and we can access the particular data. We can locate the file. We can locate the file by selecting the name or by selecting the particular data value. Selecting the name, suppose we have 5 students with a different name and the age is given. So either by selecting the age, we can select the data, or by selecting the particular name. So the variables can be calculated can be selected by their name or by the variables values that they have. Then we have a particular options to save the particular file, read the names of the file. So again, focusing that a data can be checked or the data can be selected either by 2 ways. The first, the name file that it has, or secondly, the value of the particular variable that it contains. We can open the Access file, open the data table, save the data in the Excel file, and we can follow the import portion. So this was the import method, that when we want to select the particular data from a particular file and we want to take it to the new file. So we can do it. We can do all the operations, because as we have discussed earlier, that wherever a data is concerned, every operation of data is concluded with the editing data, deleting the data, sorting the data, make changes in the data, adding new values in the data, and then creating files. Either it is a data or it is a element of the data, we can do these operations. Then we have the important elements here, that file, open, data, and then by the particular values that we are using in the particular table, we can save the particular data, and then that we can access at a different parts. So we can do these changes with the particular data, the imported values that we have done, and then we have the particular data file. We can analyze, then we can see the changes, and then we can see the frequency. The frequency is the repetition, that how the particular data is repeated, how the value of the variables is repeated at a different times, and we can see this. So this is all we can do with the SPSS. Then we have a very important thing, which is requesting stats. From the frequency dialog box, click the stats push button, and this will bring the frequency stats dialog box, and then in the stats we can do the calculation that is required. Either we are calculating the mean, median, mode, the standard variation, or the test that we are using. Then we can analyze the particular value. So it's not only that we are restricted to one particular calculation. We can do n number of calculation. We can do the calculation that we want, and after that we can analyze the particular values which are calculated. Then we have the requesting chart, that is the frequency procedure, and then after that we have added and we can save this. Frequency is basically the number of times it is generally repeated. The number of times it is repeated from the one particular value to the another particular value and all, and then we can make it in a file. Then we have the particular analyze pull down menu. Click on the descriptive stats and the cross tabs. The cross tab dialog box will then open, and then from the cross tab we can choose the button. Either we want to go to a particular row, or we want to go to a particular column, or we want to choose the particular time, and where we want to choose the particular time, or what kind of changes that we are requiring to in this particular data. So here we can see that either it is a data or any element of the particular data. We can do all the operations with the database, like deleting, sorting, editing, adding, then view the particular data, then import the data from the one particular point to another particular point. So all these things we can do it, and we can access the data. Then we have particular limitation, SPSS limitation, that wherever the manipulation is concerned, we cannot manipulate it. And again, in this case also, as we have discussed in the MS Excel, that it cannot work on the particular algorithm. Whatever the changes that we required, whatever the changes that we need, we have to do that changes. It cannot work on any particular fixed algorithm. SPSS is very good when we are dealing with the particular data package where the calculation is required. We can do all the calculations. Where we need to change the variables, we can change the particular variables also. So all these things we can do, but again it cannot work on the fixed algorithm. So SPSS, we have learned that how we make a new file, how we make a change in the row and the particular column, how we access the particular data, how we make the change in the particular data, and after making the changes in the particular data, how we access it, how we generally import the file from the one particular point to another particular point, and we can access it all the times. So we can see that. So here we can see the SPSS. So what we learned in the SPSS here is that data, how the data is tabularized, and after the data is tabularized, how the elements of the data is tabularized, how we are calculating the different values of the particular data, how we are making changes in the particular data, how we are doing all the mathematical calculation with the particular data. SPSS data is basically the categorization, we categorize them into different activities, and then we do. So every operations related with the data can be used, change the functions can be used, and then changing with the variables, and then calculation with the change of the variables can also be done. So here we learn the SPSS with the different use, how to make the variables used, how to change the particular variables, how to make a new file, and from the new file how to import the particular value, how to sort the particular value, and how to edit the particular value and write the new particular value. Hope you have enjoyed this video.
If you want to study this topic in detail, refer to the book by S. John Publishing. Link is provided in the description box. If you found our video interesting, please like, share and subscribe. And do not forget to press the bell icon.
All rights reserved. This video has been prepared for educational purposes only. No part of it may be reproduced or copied without the permission of the copyright holder.